All right, so today we have Sarah Shapley from Emory University. Welcome, Sarah. Um,
Thanks for having me.
so today we'd like to get to know a neuroscientist, and we would like to ask Sarah some questions about neuroscience and also in general herself. So first question, what year are you in your graduate
I'm a first year, so I started a PhD during a pandemic like a insane person.
program? Well, to be fair, you could predict that this was going to happen potentially at the time that you applied, right?
Kind
Um, Okay, so what's it like being a first year student? What do you do? What are the requirements or the expectations?
Yeah, so we have, at least in like Emory's neuroscience program, we are taking some basic level courses just so that everyone's on the same playing field because not everyone has a neuroscience background when they come into Emory's neuroscience PhD program. Um, Right now we're starting our rotations, or we're like halfway through our first rotation. We have a couple professional development seminars. We get to see some speakers from different universities. um, I think that's basically our requirements as a first year student.
Wow, sounds like still a lot going on. Um, a lot to take in. I remember as a first year student. So that's great to hear that you get to participate in all those different activities. Um, what was your undergraduate major?
I was neuroscience and biology double major as an
Okay,
undergrad. So
that seems
I,
to be
yeah,
that seems to be a trend
yeah.
currently. Everyone else we've been asking, and so that's very useful for potential students, and especially if you're a brain bee competitor, then you might be a high school student wondering what should I major in when I go to college. Um, if you one day want to be a neuroscientist like us. Um, so that being said, what are you rotating in a lab? Are you in a lab, and if so, what research are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm in my first rotation right now, and I'm looking at right now I'm like doing a optimization study in a construct and proteins, but it's to be applied toward understanding these potassium channels in microglia that are upregulated or increased in a disease state, such as Alzheimer's disease. So hopefully that can be therapeutically beneficial.
Great. Yeah, that's one thing I love about neuroscience, is that it has all these different levels of of investigation and also expertise. And so, um, you need to optimize things, of course, to get them to work, right? Which then lets you do all the other stuff. And so it's a very basic need that we have just to start. And a lot of scientists' time is taken up doing that kind of work. You don't get this huge payoff that all of a sudden we can cure everything right away. And so you're doing the groundwork right now for future better things.
It's still
Um,
important, very important.
yes, we cannot stress that enough. And it provides a solid foundation that we can then move on from. So, well, that sounds great for your first year that you're really invested in doing that. Um, what is your favorite brain or neuroscience fact?
Okay. I just one.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, if you've got maybe not all day, but if you got a couple more, yeah.
Okay, I guess like throwback to my undergrad thesis on myelination. You might think that myelin wraps from the outside in,
Mhm.
kind of like wrapping around, but it actually like starts on the inside of the axon and then it like pushes the myelin out from the inside.
Oh, through
Mhm.
the nodes of Ranvier or through the cell membrane?
No, 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 it's just layering of the oligodendrocyte membrane.
Oh, I see. Okay, so on the outside, so it's like an onion essentially.
Yeah,
Okay,
your
well,
myelin's an onion.
a long tubular onion, yes. So okay, uh, very interesting. Yes, and glia seem to be always given the short shrift, I think, that they're just the helper cells, but they're doing very many things that we
No,
didn't know about before.
you
Exactly.
cannot have neurons without glia. So
Exactly. So they're kind of important, right?
they're so important.
Okay, so now time for fun personal questions. Do you have any pets?
I don't. I really
Okay.
like the dog. But yeah, I haven't stabilized enough to get one.
Yes, no, I understand. Many people have pets. We've seen them on the Zoom conversations, especially as they walk across their screens and their desks. But I do not have pets either, so that's okay. I understand. but it would be nice, you're right, to have a pet at some point. And so you are a dog person, not a cat person. All right,
Yeah.
we'll remember that for the future. What is your favorite musical artist?
Okay, so I'm still in my angsty pop punk phase of my life. So I grew up on like Reliant K, so always have a special place in my heart. I've gotten more into the Offspring, which, fun fact, the lead singer of the Offspring has a PhD in molecular biology and did his
Yes.
thesis on HIV.
Yes. I think is his name Noodles? Or he has a very odd name. Yeah, I was familiar with this because I was an old school Offspring fan as well. Um, because I'm old, and when they first came out, I actually was listening to them. And
Mhm.
so yeah, they I remember he did not complete the thesis. He basically was ABD, all but defended, and he became famous kind of late in life, became
Yeah.
successful clearly, and then yeah, I think he went back and finished it. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you play any instruments?
I do. I play a few. I've played viola since I was 11. So
Oh
I was
wow.
in the university orchestra for a little bit in undergrad. Um, my mom was a piano performance major when she started college. So I learned a bit of piano quite young. And then just like translating into like violin, double bass. I played the recorder in fourth grade like everyone else.
Very nice. Well, so my line of question there was, you still have time to be like the Offspring singer and get both your PhD and be successful in music. So,
I will try.
um, yeah, in all your spare time. Um,
Mhm.
okay, well, thank you very much. Sarah was an instructor earlier this morning at one of the Brain Bee workshops, which is kind of a preparatory program that we run for the Brain Bee competitors to kind of give them a mini boot camp of brain facts. So thank you very much for taking the time to do that. You did a great job. And so thank you for today as well. This has been Sarah Shapley from Emory University.
Yeah. Thanks for organizing all of this and the brain bee
No
insane.
problem. Okay, I'm gonna end it.